Yeah, thank you for joining us on this weekend program, Beer Parlor Politics. Much more less official discussion. So please don't hold us to anything. Right. People are saying from the inner quarters that Shettima is being quoted out of context when he was making reference to Jonathan's not removal of him as the governor of Borno State, following the advice from the then Attorney General and the then Speaker of the House, Aminu Tambuwa. That was a statement made in an open. It was recorded. We still have the video. You know, a lot of people were trying to draw analogy from what happened in Rivers State, trying to liken his statement to event that just happened. Could Shettima be or not be hinting at Fubara?
You know, when you said statement is made out of context or quoted out of context or misinterpreted, those video lies.
Who knows? You can tell us.
The video that is in circulation, it is clear and unambiguous. Shettima gave an analogical situation that him himself was an actor as a city governor of Borno State, as at that time, wherein professionals in the government of President Goodluck Jonathan, former president of Nigeria, advised legally that the president lacked power to remove as small as a councillor, talk less of a city governor of a state. Shettima never made reference to Fubara, but they said a word is enough for the wise.
A stitch in time saves
nine.
And if you not stitch, I mean,
so
time,
I don't see any out of context quoting. Shettima just made an analogy. So it's left for the analogy to be interpreted the way you want. If you want to interpret it to suit it to Fubara and Rivers, that's for you.
Yeah.
But Shettima merely talk about himself, his experience, and what saved his job as a governor as at that time.
All right, let's not hear from our self-appointed Wike special advisor.
But I'm thinking of resigning.
You're thinking of resigning.
So soon.
Sometimes he doesn't listen to me, even though I'm his political godfather.
I thought you said you were with him this morning.
Well, he called me last night, around after 11, because I was angry with him, so I didn't pick the call. And he called like 4 times. When he saw I wasn't picking his call, he had to use one of his aides' number to call me.
Yes.
And when I picked, he said, "My leader." I said, "How are you?" He said, "I'm your political godson. Forgive me. You know, I heard you are angry with me." And then, on that basis,
You are still retaining your position.
He has been forgiven.
Okay.
But just one more chance. Think about it.
All right, so let's hear from you. Do you think, in general, that, you know, sometimes there's something we call precedence in law? That is the way you did it before. When it happened again, we're going to say, so we'll go take dual. Exactly. And that is what Nigerians are trying to pick from what Shettima, our VP, said. You think VP is speaking out of some kind of reaction or frustration, or you know they endorsed Asiwaju for 2027. You know, our people say something. If you do woman as you take doing mate, she no go verse. This one that they do the guy like this, but they not do VP like that. Tinubu endorsed for 2027. Shettima not endorsed for 2027. Do you think he's speaking out of that frustration?
Okay, so for me, I think that the APC government and those at the presidency, they are just being unnecessarily, manipulative about all of this. So the first question I would like to ask them is, what Shettima had said, is it truth? Did something like that ever happen during his administration?
He did.
If the answer is yes, then is it wrong for him to make an analogy in such an instance just to buttress what he wants to talk about? The answer is no. I only feel like what's wrong with them now, when somebody do something, who they carry cutlass, take kill person, not like me, they all cutlass for a back.
Exactly.
So I think that they are just being judged by their conscience. Looking at it like, okay, so the analogy Shettima had cited, it's slightly, in the line with what the President Tinubu administration has done with the River State issue.
Yeah.
They are just thinking that, oh, could he be talking about, Fubara?
Fubara, yeah.
But again, the question is, if he is also actually talking about Fubara, is he wrong? He's not wrong, because constitutionally, what the Tinubu administration had done, according to what would have happened to him during the Goodluck Jonathan administration, which the then Attorney General faulted and said is wrong, it's still what has happened. And he's just saying that what has happened in the past, for him, if it is wrong, it is now left for the Tinubu administration to now look at themselves and say, have we also participated in illegality with what we did in River State? So either ways, whether you're saying Fubara is attacking the Tinubu administration, whether you think Fubara is saying the truth, in these two ways, is on you. But he had said what he had just said.
Wow, interesting. You see, I don't know where I read that portion of the Constitution that talked about state of emergency. Let's hit this thing head on. I also read about how to remove a governor in this case. Impeachment for gross misconduct. There are those things are there. And also, when you go to the section that talked about how to declare and why you could declare state of emergencies, lawlessness, certain things that is beyond the law enforcement in the state are not that. There's nothing that mentions removal of governor for you to be able to do state of emergency. There's nothing in this section that talked about state of emergency that talked about removing the power there. Where did we arrive at the equation that once you declare state of emergency, like now, if you go to Texas state in America, you have what is quasi state of emergency. I think if it is not even declared because of the flood, it can be a disaster. During hurricane, we have seen state of emergency declared where these national guards have been deployed. So where did we get this equation that if you want to declare state of emergency, you remove the governor? Governor is the landlord. The landlord is the one to tell you where the fire is burning. You can't come to somebody. Where did we get that equation? How did we arrive at that? Is it because Obasanjo did it?
That is why I'm really perturbed by the statement emanating from the presidency, saying that Shettima was quote out of context. If you look at the Shettima statement, if you listen to that video clearly, Shettima had made some salient points as it affect this government. First person that it calls to question is the Attorney General of the Federation, person of Fagbemi, senior advocate of Nigeria. He called him a camelo. Because in his days, these were the people who stood against removal of governor by the sitting president. He also take a jab at the National Assembly because they have failed in their duty. He make reference to Tambuwa as a speaker. Because governors, when you said the president is the first citizen, you now come to the vice president, the senate president, and the speaker in hierarchy like that, number one citizen up to number 4. In those days, Jonathan being a perfect gentleman and a Democrat, he had a meeting with this person, and Tambuwa advised against the president removing the city governor of Borno State, and that's the person of Shettima as at that time. But in this case, the National Assembly, in their rubber stamp nation, a section of the Constitution that allow for emergency, if at all, make a provision that gives power to the National Assembly to ratify the action of the presidency by two-thirds majority vote. But it's only in the APC government led by Bola Tinubu that we can arrive at two-thirds majority by voice vote. So these are the issues Shettima is saying. He might be in the government, but he might not be satisfied with the action of the government. And this is the only way he can ventilate himself. He's only saying that, look, Adoke, whose book is being launched, save his job as a legal expert who do not fear his boss, but told his boss the truth, which save his job. That is a true civil servant who knows his onion. And that puts the present AGF position into question, whether he's actually a senior advocate of Nigeria that knows his onion, or who could not advise his boss properly in issue like this.
All right. Shettima was very, very categorical. He said nobody has power to remove even a councillor. We have seen, but like in recent times in Edo State, when Monday Pobelo come, before he said, somebody that was even having a case in court at that time was busy suspending chairman of the local government simply because they were elected, they were PDP members. Shettima said, you don't have power to even remove an elected councillor. If he says you don't have power to do that, and his immediate boss just removed a governor, could he be attacking his boss directly? Do you think that's disloyalty?
Well, no,
or that is allegiance to constitution?
No, so I do not think it's disloyalty. So the question again is it right that because you are in a particular party and that party is doing what is wrong, you should continue to support them? Do not forget that your service to a nation is to the people.
That's patriotism.
That's patriotism.
Yes.
First and foremost.
So he's allegiance to the constitution.
It's to the people.
Yes.
It's to the people.
Yes.
So if he speaks the truth to power, what I think that his party members should do, what I think his boss should do, is to call him and ask him, okay, if you have said this, we have done it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Call those in authority and say, what are we supposed to do? Let's interpret the constitution correctly and do the right thing. Because do not forget that these are precedents we're talking about. And Shettima is also very smart because people say today Gebele will not know it
will not know tomorrow.
Because if he also supports the illegality today, do not forget he's still in politics.
Maybe I can become president.
Something if it happens
I go
tomorrow.
declare state of emergency for Lagos.
People will now say when it happen for your time.
Wait till you talk.
Do you understand? So if people like Shettima can come out and speak truth to power, I feel that as Nigerians, first we should celebrate him. Then as party people, look, for me, being a political party card carrier is secondary.
Yes.
What is important first, once you are being elected in a political position, is for you to serve the people. And whatever you're doing against the will of the people is out of the democratic system that you have taken oath, to uphold. Now, I heard some people also saying Shettima is angry. And I want to ask, if you are Shettima in this present government, you go Versailles, you not go Versailles.
Yes.
Because the Shettima's vice presidential role that he's occupying today, you and I know that even a councillor is more valuable than the vice presidential role that the Shettima is handling today. So is it even right for Shettima to be angry if he has been excluded out of a government that they co-joined a ticket together to come in under the APC? So he has right to be angry. And if he's also speaking out of anger, I think he deserves it too.
Looking at these things, do you notice that Nigerians are not keen again about joint ticket who you are running with? This you can deduce from, our time is against us already, this you can deduce from obedience. Obedience believe in Obi's presidential ticket. They don't believe in Obi being a vice president. But ordinarily, we used to view it that, okay, once you match A plus B, if you not vote because of A, you go vote because of B. Nigerians are not ready to vote because of B. Has this government made it the office of vice president too unattractive? Just 1 minute.
I don't think it's the president, this present president, that make the office of the vice president unattractive. I think our constitution is faulty in that regard. I think all over the world, I think the office of the president actually is not very, very functional because the vice president or the deputy governor are put in place for in case of eventuality, so that if the president so wish, he will delegate jobs to them in a situation where there's cordial relationship. For instance, the first tenure of President Obasanjo and Atiku, because of that cordiality, a lot of power were delegated to Atiku. But that's not what the Constitution says. Let's get it right. So it is a constitutional matter. Okay. And secondly, it has to be the relationship between the two persons that are occupying the office.
All right, 1 minute. What is our parting words?
I think that with what he has just said, I would also say that I think that's a problem. And that is why, for us as Nigerians, people believe that if it is, like you said, if it is not Obi, because you see, the vice presidential role is almost like very insignificant, not just in Nigeria, like you had said. And so people believe that if Obi becomes a vice president,
not much will happen.
Not much will
because
happen.
of Obi, yeah.
Do you understand? So people are looking at the presidential position as one that is like the all in all. You can only be in that position to make certain laws. You can only be in that kind of position to make certain things happen. And if you are not the president, then we do not trust you making any positive impact in that tenor in which you be voted into power. And so for a lot of Nigerians, it's either you're the president or you're not. Because Nigerians want to hold somebody accountable. People want to hold somebody accountable. If you notice, over time, people would never blame a vice presidential candidate when the country is failing, or when the sitting the ruling party is failing. It's usually the president. So people want to hold someone accountable, and if they must hold someone accountable, it must be that person that they trust to hand over, to give power to rule the people.
Wow. Well, you get what they talked before. For one, we picked it from one advert for one medicine like that. It's called Panadol. They say if you not be Panadol, you not feel be like Panadol. Say that you are the president or not. This is your favorite program, Beer Parlor Politics, one of our best weekend program. Thank you for watching, and see you next week.